The cat. Stealthy, solitary, secretive, and intelligent, said to possess 9 lives, always prepared for the unexpected. In the words of a poet, cats, no less liquid than their shadows, offer no angles to wind. They slip, diminished, neat, through loopholes less than themselves. Certainly no matter where a cat falls, it always lands on its feet. Perhaps cats do have 9 lives. Prowling on big and little cats' feet, they spread throughout the world. There are over 35 species of wild cats, over 300 breeds of domestic cats. Graceful and evocative, cats have long toyed with the human imagination, leaving their mark in myth and legend. But big or small, wild or domestic, they're all the same under the skin. Evolution has fine-tuned every cat, from tabby to tiger, towards one purpose: the hunt. A killing machine with super senses, the tiger's ears can detect sounds at very high frequencies, allowing it to pinpoint unsuspecting prey. Its large eyes and acute vision enable it to judge distance instantly and perfectly to zero in on its target. According to Indian mythology, Shiva punished man's growing fearlessness by creating the tiger. In reality, tigers rarely attack people, even though their nightly hunts covering over 12 miles can bring them close to human settlements. Within the back streets of many cities lies the undercover world of feral cats, cats that once lived under human control, but have returned to their wild ways. The concrete jungle has become home to hunter and hunted alike, and the result is always the same. Wild cats live on meat alone and are considered the most highly specialized of flesh eaters. From tooth to tail, cats are walking weapons. And they can afford to be finicky eaters, picking and choosing what and when to eat. Being such perfect killing machines, it's no wonder they inspire fear. The cat's arsenal includes padded feet with sharp claws, a muscular build, camouflaged fur, powerful jaws, a highly evolved brain, and a sensitive nose. Its special skills are patience, silence, and speed. A cat's whiskers are as wide as its body, allowing it to navigate narrow spaces and gauge its position while stalking prey. Like fingerprints, the pattern of these sensitive feelers gives each animal a unique imprint. Poised to deliver a very different impression, dagger-like canine teeth jut from a jaw powerful enough to snap a bone in a single bite. Forward-facing eyes and excellent vision enable cats to see 6 times better than humans, even in the dark. Large movable ears hear so acutely that a bat fluttering its wings sounds like a drum roll. They can detect the exact location of their prey. And when a cat plays with its prey, one wonders if it really hunts to live or lives to hunt. Although the approach to the prey may vary, every cat knows exactly where and when to spring and precisely when the kill is possible. Whoever wrote, "The cat loves fish but dares not wet her paws," never saw a cat go fishing. Whatever the prey, whatever the cat, patience, cunning, and stealth are key. The cat watches. And springs its ambush. The first cats began to evolve 500 million years ago, long before humans walked the earth. A weasel-like creature called Myiasis is considered to be the first cat and the ancestor of all living carnivores. Then Myiasis evolved into Dinictis, with its long, fang-like teeth, sharp as ice picks. Then came the most ferocious cat of all, Smilodon, a saber-toothed tiger whose fangs were more than 8 inches long and curved like unsheathed daggers from its jaw. An old Jewish belief holds that while God created lions, he did not create house cats. The first male and female cats were snorted forth from the nostrils of the lion on board Noah's Ark. But how did cats from the wild become tamed and give rise to over 300 domestic varieties? It all began nearly 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, where the Sphinx, with the body of a lion and the head of a king, pays tribute to the vigilant role cats played in Egyptian history. Rats and mice were everywhere, breeding uncontrollably, spreading disease and eating the people's precious grain. But the pests met their match in some feral cats called reed cats, who feasted on the vermin. The rodents sought refuge, but the line was drawn in the sand, and the game of cat and mouse has raged ever since. To this day, in modern Egypt, it's considered good luck to own a cat. The Egyptians have expressed their gratitude to the cat in many ways. They worshipped Bastet, the cat goddess, as the symbol of compassion and happiness. Even the sun god Ra sometimes took the shape of a cat. When a royal or sacred cat died, it was mummified, and the owners shaved off their eyebrows in mourning. In fact, the cat became so sacred that anyone who killed one was punished by death. The Egyptians' reverence for cats became so renowned that when the Persian army attacked Egypt, they placed cats on their shields, believing the Egyptians would never raise their swords to such sacred images. The Persians may have been right. They won the battle. Like any humans with desirable skills, cats were soon invited to new territories. Their reputation for exterminating rats and mice quickly earned them a place on board ships where they were treated as essential crew members. They soon became as revered at sea as they were on land. Sailors believed cats brought good luck to their ships. A cat's caterwauling or placing one under a pot could raise winds. Japanese fishermen believed the cat would protect the crew from ghosts. The ship's cat had magical powers, even the ability to forecast storms. So cats traveled from port to port, conquering all kinds of climates, from the freezing temperatures in Antarctica to the tropical climate of the equator. They've managed to make themselves at home in all kinds of places. Perhaps their cleverest leap was into the homes of people all over the world. Cats use their charms to beguile humans to get just what they want: warmth, food, affection. Yet they remain aloof and independent. Even the smallest cats harbor the pride of a lion, and while appearing to show affection, do exactly as they please. Cats are benevolent monarchs and express their pleasure by purring, actually the vibration of bones at the base of the tongue. But they've given something up in joining the human pride. Small cats can't roar, and big cats can't purr. The lion doesn't need to purr to get its way, for its roar is one of the most frightening of animal sounds. It's actually vibrating cartilage in the lion's throat. The impression of power and size is furthered by the mane, which has often been associated with the radiating rays of the sun. The male's role is to defend his pride and territory. His mighty roar is more likely his way of communicating to pride members than a means of striking terror. Throughout history, the links between lions and humans have been many and varied. Daniel gained fame when he was cast into a lion's den and survived. Killing a lion made Tarzan the king of his jungle. Although Tarzan was no Hercules, whose first labor was to kill a lion without piercing its skin with a weapon. All over the world, the lion remains a symbol of dominance. People born under the sign of Leo are said to be proud, brave, and strong, just like the king of beasts himself. The lion is the only cat to share its territory with other members of its family. But despite his ferocious image, the male is lazy. It's the lionesses that do the work. There can be more than 20 in a pride. They hunt by working together as a team, attacking from different directions in order to outflank and ambush their prey. In the wild, the responsibilities of motherhood are often shared. Milk is provided even for cubs which are not their own. Lion cubs are born with spotted markings which fade as they grow older. While the domestic kitten may grow up without contact with the wild, it still carries the instincts of a wild cat. Child care and child carrying go hand in hand when mothers must move their young from place to place at the first hint of danger. And although these cats seem to be playing without a care, play is actually training for survival. These lynx are learning how to catch prey. Their mother teaches them at an early age how to kill quickly and efficiently, an essential lesson in survival. When they get older, failure can mean starvation. It takes 3 years for a tiger cub to grow to its full size, eventually weighing nearly 800 pounds and measuring over 9 feet in length. Just like a house cat, if a tiger were to fall from a height, it would land on its feet. But the tiger is no house cat. In some Asian cultures, it is revered as a god, and there are many legends of weird tigers, people who turn into tigers at will. Although the tiger is the biggest and most powerful cat, it's certainly not the fastest. The cheetah is. The cheetah is a sprinter. It can change directions without breaking its stride. Its spine works like a rubber band, elastic enough to form a perfect U. Big or small, all cats' skeletons are very similar. Their unique framework allows for great agility during the chase. Escape is unlikely. The cheetah simply keeps its eye on the prey and makes straight for it, cutting the corners, using its long tail for counterbalance. It trips up the prey, then delivers the fatal bite. The bones of cats' feet have evolved so they always walk and run on their toes. A cheetah's claws can't retract like other cats, but are always out, like the spikes on a track shoe, gripping the ground for maximum speed. Its legs are the longest in relation to its body of any cat, making it the fastest land mammal in the world. It can accelerate from 0 to over 70 miles per hour in 3 seconds. The cheetah can leave a sports car in the dust, but it only has the stamina to maintain that speed for 220 yards. Cats' eyes have a special mirror-like surface inside the eyeball that traps the light and bounces it back and forth. This is why a cat's eyes appear to shine at night, and why they have such good night vision, even in starlight. Most cats are nocturnal hunters, and the majority of them hunt on their own. They're able to detect the slightest movement in the dark, but contrary to popular belief, the cat can't see in total darkness. Its pupils react quickly to changes in light levels, from luminous globes at night to narrow slits during the day. This led people to believe that cats were seers, capable of communicating with the dead. But most cats prefer the living. A cat's tail is a good mood indicator. A twitching tail means the cat is aggravated or tense. Stronger wagging means anger, while the mood of a Manx remains a mystery. It has no tail at all. But then a cat's intentions aren't always obvious. When it appears to be playing, it's more likely trying to take possession of something, or sharpening its claws, or cleaning them. Exercising its limbs or stretching its muscles. Or exercising its right to a little sibling rivalry. And when it comes to cleanliness, the cat is immaculate. It spends much of the day trying to keep its coat sleek and in top condition. But looks can be deceiving. While all this licking and combing does clean and relax a cat, it's also part of a complex communication system whereby it spreads its scent all over its body. Mutual grooming is more of a friendly act, strengthening the social bond between the animals. The highly specialized tongue is rough and can be curved into a scoop to lap up water or aid in stripping meat from the bone. Whatever the size or shape, cats behave in similar ways. The Japanese portray the cat as having many different personalities. Cats everywhere are a puzzle. While a cat's fickleness is certainly legend, it has been surpassed by cat breeders. and the fickleness of feline fashion. The Persian, one of the first long-haired breeds, won the very first cat show in 1871. The Siamese, lanky, loud, and intelligent, arrived in Europe from Siam in 1880 and was an immediate sensation. A Siamese was crossed with a Persian, producing a Burman. It has a longer body than a typical long hair and always has white feet because, according to legend, they touched a priest. The Russian Blue has a double coat of fur and was Tsar Nicholas's favorite cat. Next up is a little number known as the Orange Self, now redesigned by breeders as the Red Self, a victim of fashion with a nose that is now so flat it can hardly breathe. Most cats had short hair up until about 100 years ago. With the growing trend in designer cats, fashion called for more long hairs. Then curly hairs became the rage in England. Even no hairs had a brief reign. In zoos and circuses, lions sometimes mate with tigers, creating ligers, or tigons. A tiger's stripes help to break up its outline. But whether the coat is camouflaged with stripes, rosettes, or spots, it has evolved to conceal the animal from its intended prey. The jaguar's dappled coat blends in with the dappled light of the South American rainforests. Aztec warriors called themselves the Jaguar Knights. The word jaguara means he who strikes down his prey in a single bound. It's the only cat that doesn't go for the throat, but bites down through the skull to kill its prey. The snow leopard's coat is much lighter. This beautiful rare animal comes from the high mountains of East Asia, where the climate is tough and food is scarce. Only the hardiest can eke out an existence. It has a thick inner coat for warmth, while the outer coat carries the pattern. The clouded leopard from Southeast Asia is a twilight hunter, moving superbly among trees, hunting monkeys, squirrels, and birds. The hunting ability of the cat in the East is so legendary, Buddhists believe it was the only animal not present at the death of the great Buddha, because it had stopped on the way to chase a mouse. But this time, it's a bird. The sleek black panther is actually a leopard with hidden spots. Almost half of these forest dwellers may be black, making them harder to see in the dim light of the rainforest. There are also black servals, jaguars, and bobcats. Sitting motionless in the grass, the leopard is well camouflaged as it waits for the perfect moment to spring a trap. Even so, only 1 out of 10 attempts is successful. Despite the difference in patterns of their fur, every cat has one marking in common, a tear stripe at the corner of each eye. And many cats have white spots behind their ears. These are used for communication and are flashed as a signal of aggression. They also resemble eyes that discourage a potential enemy creeping up from behind. In India, humans borrowed the trick for their own defense. Forest workers found that a face mask worn on the back of the head often deterred tigers from attacking them. In the winter of the northern forest, the lynx, while still retaining its eye spots, has changed into its winter coat. It has one coat for summer and a warmer, paler one for winter. And like the snow leopard, it has fur on the pads of its feet for warmth and for distributing its weight over the soft snow. While cats have held fast to their independence, they're not above letting humans help them. It was a gentleman farmer with great affection for his cats who invented the cat flap. This was Isaac Newton, whose encounter with a falling apple led to the theory of gravity. Throughout history, cats have represented different things to different people. In the Middle Ages in Europe, they were cruelly persecuted, sometimes burned as accomplices to witches. If a black cat crosses your path, it's bad luck or good luck, depending on who you ask. The cat frequently appears as a folktale character, and in Alice in Wonderland, it takes on the form of the ever-grinning Cheshire cat. In cartoons, the dim-witted cat is often outdone by the cunning mouse. But reality tosses this notion out the window. The cat remains an impressive hunter, a figure of great power, strength, agility, ferocity, and an object of fear. Cats prefer a vantage point from which they can see and not be seen, stalking silently, watching before surprising their unsuspecting prey. And while a cat may have 9 lives, a mouse does not. Whether they move on little or big cat's feet, the cat remains the supreme predator.
The Eyewitness Museum, created by combining traditional filmmaking techniques with state-of-the-art graphics, stripping away the mysteries of nature and science to reveal the essence of each subject. Bringing the world into sharp focus. The making of Eyewitness. The distinct style of the Eyewitness books is the basis for each of the programs. Each half-hour episode is based on a book title. The Eyewitness book's visual style gives the program makers a starting point and a challenge. The challenge of transferring the clarity and super-realism into moving images and sound. Now let's take a look behind the scenes at the making of Cat. A distinctive element of the Eyewitness series is the white background. By placing animals in a carefully lit, neutral background, we can isolate them from their usual surroundings, bringing a new clarity to our understanding. Big cats, however, demand respect. They get a bigger cage than the cameraman. The tigers needed half an hour to acclimatize to the setting before work could begin. Our prime concern was to make the animal comfortable, both for its welfare and the success of our footage. The tigers were encouraged with pieces of meat.
Let him walk out, let him walk out.
The opening of Cat demanded a specific action. It took a while to communicate this to the tiger. He had to jump onto a box in which the camera was hidden. When the rehearsals were complete, the action was for real. After filming on white, the action was repeated against blue. This time we filmed the tiger jumping off the box. In television, a specific blue-colored background can later be turned into any background we choose. In this case, a cityscape. This blue screen technique can take us anywhere. Our star cat looks out on a stormy sea from the Eyewitness studio. Meanwhile, the mouse was on a different set, with just a piece of rope and the blue screen. When filming wildlife, it's important to keep temptation away from our subjects, apart from the odd bowl of cat food hidden behind the cannonballs. By photographing big and small cats against white and blue and their natural surroundings, we're able to bring the grace and beauty of these animals into sharp focus.